All right, 2029 players, I want to take a minute to talk to you about a new program that I'm offering. It's essentially a guided, year-long process helping you understand the recruiting process, doing everything that I can do to make sure that you're organized and that you're doing everything chronologically that needs to be done at the right time and the right way to make sure that a year from now, you've put yourself in the best possible position to be recruited. And, you know, the thing that I've learned from families is that most of the time, they're ready to do whatever it is that they need to do. It's just that they don't know what to do and they miss steps. Right? It's because they weren't reminded of when showcases are, what they should be doing with their email communication, what matters in the fall, what matters in the winter, what matters from the spring season, how do we approach summer, how do we handle midsummer, right? All of these things are really, really important for your process. And from working with so many players over the years, watching the 27s, spending a lot of time this spring and summer with the 28s, this program is designed to make sure that you don't miss any steps between essentially August and September 9th next year when you're going to be recruited. So what does this look like? Essentially, I'm going to be guiding you on a monthly basis, whether it's by a live Zoom call that you can join or I'll record, or our bi-monthly 30-minute private Zoom calls where we sit down and talk about where are you now? What do you need to do? What questions do you have, right? And for me, this is the most important thing. If I could give people one service, this is it, right? This is, you know, I don't want to say I'm holding your hand, but I'm doing everything I possibly can to make sure that you stay on track, that you don't miss any important emails, that you don't miss any showcases, that you understand what needs to be done and when, and then being able to be there to answer questions, right? I think this process is confusing. I think what's hard is most families, I've seen this with the 27s and the 28s, they get to now, right? I'm filming this today, it's July 15th, and all of a sudden parents are freaking out. They realize, wow, we didn't do this, we're not sure about this, what's gonna happen next? I don't want to see families sitting there in this position. And for me, this is the best way to do that, right? To help you organize now, to make sure that your process is highly organized and planned. This program will include the prospect and the recruit, those two courses. We're going to do 5 live Zoom calls, groups scheduled throughout the year to make sure that you are 100% ready for each phase of the recruiting process. And then we're going to do 6 live Zoom calls, right? Me and your family, and we're going to talk through the process and make sure that you know what to do beginning in August and September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, and then August, September, right? Every time that you have a question, you're going to have someone to answer. You can trust me, right? I'm an expert. I've done this 100 times. Now it's something that I'm doing more consistently. I've built a pretty decent following on Instagram, but the reality is most of the stuff that I need to do is much longer form. Instagram gives me 60 seconds to make a point, right? My courses are awesome and they're gonna help you so much. But what I found this year was that so many families, they read through the course and then they have questions. They want more help, right? So this 2029 recruiting advisory program is built from all these families that I've spoken with and worked with. This is what they wanted. This is what they wish they had when they were 27s or they were 28s. It's the first time I'm doing it. If you're watching this email, you probably have some interest. It's a great opportunity to put your mind at ease, right? To relieve some of the anxiety that you have about the recruiting process. You can join this program and you're gonna know Roy Colsey is gonna tell me what to do and when to do it. And you're gonna get great information all the way through the year. For me, thinking about, you know, how can I help athletes? How can I help families? The worst part for me is getting to this point of the year where we are now, July 15th for these 28s, and trying to help people who are scrambling, who didn't do things when they should have, and now they're confused and they're worried, and ultimately it winds up costing their players opportunities, right? And so I want to do this the right way. I think this will be the model for me moving forwards. I think I'll have, 24 families that I work with over the course of the year. Of course, I'll sell courses. Of course, I'm going to do some team Zooms, but ultimately This is the type of advisory that I want to do. I enjoy it. I love working with families. I like having conversations and learning about players. We're going to build a relationship over the course of this time, and we're going to actually be able to figure out a lot of the problems that families are facing now. We'll already have taken care of that throughout the year, right? By being highly organized, by knowing what you're supposed to do and when. And it's a great opportunity for us to work together and make sure that you've got a great plan and that you execute it to the best of your ability so that you have the best options next year at this time, right? Come September 9th or whatever date it is that the NCAA decides on, that you're going to be prepared. And whatever the outcome is, we're going to know we did our best. You know, my thing for players is I want you to have options. When we get to September 9th, if your phone rings and you've got a bunch of options, then we've done a great job, right? The thing I'm trying to prevent is poor alignment and poor execution, which leads to September 9th. The phone is quiet, and now you're trying to go back and fix the recruiting process. That's a nightmare, right? It's one of the worst things that I see, and it's not something that we can fix on September 9th or September 10th or September 11th. Let's get this right. I'd love to have you join my program. No pressure. I figured you might want to hear a little bit more about it from me, on this longer format. If you have any questions, you know how to reach me. info@therecruitingroadmap.com, or you can DM me at therecruitingroadmap. I'd love to hear what your questions are. I really hope you consider joining me for this program. I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be in high demand, and I'm pretty sure it'll probably sell out way before we get to September 1st. All right. Thanks for joining me, and thanks for listening. See ya.